All right. Hey, everyone. Okay, we're back with another episode of the Rainy Day Mushroom Podcast. Today, I'm with Nico Zaca, and today he's going to talk about an album he has coming out on September 19th called Mind Control Music. And, excited to talk about this. Hey, what's up, Nico?
Nothing much, Alex. Just had a bunch of coffee. My album comes out in 6 days. So
you're not sleeping, basically.
No, I've not been sleeping a ton. I've been kind of up.
So this is not your first album, though, right?
No, it's not. I've released 3 albums before.
Oh, okay.
Starting in 2020 when I was like 18. That was. I got Higher Louder Turbo Power, the album that came out before this, done in like 3 months, and that's never happened to me. The other ones I spent like at least 8 months to a year on. But this one I've worked on Mind Control Music for about a year and a half.
Oh, yeah?
So it's like I really want these songs to be relevant and polished. I feel like it's my darkest work, honestly.
I mean, I like dark shit, so...
Yeah. It's that kind of stuff with your
friends.
Dark ass stuff. No, but like, it's definitely my most vulnerable work. Talk about a lot of like things that have happened like the year and a half and just like in society, and mostly in 2025, there's just been so much. It's hard to keep track of everything that's been going on, but just like I feel like in the past 5 years in general, since I released my first project to now, like, I mean, I feel like everyone's life has changed so much. It was like the coming out of COVID and whatnot, but like I had a lot of, I can only speak personally, but like it was like a lot of different developments in my life. Like I was in college and I dropped out of college and then I moved to Nashville for a little bit and it's just like been around and like just like, you know, the ups and downs of life. So I feel like just with this project it was like I was releasing singles and some of them were Debbie Downers and some of them were like more like electronic production kind of upper songs. And I wanted a little bit of both, but I really wanted this to be like my first project where I'm making like statements rather than making songs. I feel like I've been reflecting a lot on technology lately. I heard the other day, this like blew my mind. So there is this AI Spotify account that was making like, you know, like AI generated music from scratch. It got like 100,000 listeners or something. I don't remember the exact number. And they bought bots for it and they were generating money from it. So it was like artificial music by artificial listeners for artificial capital. And I was like, that when I heard about that, I was like, oh my God. I feel like there are a few news articles, honestly, that have been such a catalyst for making this project. And I feel like that one was like really a big one because I do like electronic music a lot.
Yeah.
But I also do have a background in classical guitar, and I think it's like trying to draw the line between analog and digital and hardware instrumentation versus software instrumentation, and like trying to find this balance of like in the digital age, like what makes music feel real. Because there's music I've heard that's like extremely processed, and it makes you feel something perhaps like honestly more real than like a folk song that's like poorly written. You know what I mean? It's like it's just drawing the line between like organic and inorganic, and I find that relationship really fascinating. When new terrain in technology, especially in music and the arts, like gets brought to the forefront of society, people always react and reject it. Like I always think about T-Pain, like in using auto-tune and how like Usher pulled him aside and was like, you ruined music, and then T-Pain went into a depression.
Yeah. Because
it's like T-Pain's a really talented singer. Like he doesn't have to prove, like I feel like there's this idea with AI that like you can't be a good artist if you use AI. The flip side of it though is I do see people only rely on AI. You can get imagery, but you don't necessarily need a vision.
Yeah.
To an extent, but at the same time, I'm like, and also the environmental factor. I have mixed feelings about it, honestly, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Would you ever like use something like it, like if you had AI generate like maybe like a piece of like a sound or something? Like, would you ever like try to like mix a song or like create a song with it?
No.
No.
For what I'm trying to go for, I'd rather generate all this. I'm a control freak. Mm-hmm. So like I really like generating the sounds myself, and I like tweaking it, and I feel like there's a level of specificity you need to go for if you're really trying to bring a song to life in your you know what I mean, like the way you want to see it.
Yeah.
I always start with the instrumentation. Like I'll produce a track and like not have like a cohesive melody or lyrics for like months on end. Like my usual writing process is like starting off with guitar, like or the synth. Like it's like I start off with just the chords, and then it's like I'll go on a walk for like maybe a week and like listen to it on repeat for like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And then it's like, okay, like what words, like what vocabulary like is associated with how this makes you feel. Like, and it's just, you think about words. Like my writing process is like writing jokes, honestly, and like thinking of like wordplay, and then trying to deepen it with melody. Like I had a friend, I used to be so stifled by writing, and I have this friend, shout out Elon, Isaac, he does all my art. He just sends me like raps he writes on the toilet whenever he's there. And it's like that just takes the pressure off it so much. So I feel like once the instrumental's down, like and in terms of synths, like I like really airy synths. I think like I want the guitar to be at the forefront, so I want the synths to be kind of the periphery, because I feel like that for my music, I feel like I have some songs that are straight guitar, but I feel like if I had to like say like, oh, this is my sound, it's like, yeah, it's like having like a sign bell, or like kind of just like a pad with the high end cut out, just like kind of like lingering beneath the guitar, because I think it adds like a little bit of like atmosphere.
What were you doing in Nashville?
I was going to school there for a second, like a Christian college.
What the fuck are you doing in the Christian college?
That's a really good question. No, so I was going to school, and then like it just wasn't working out. Like there was just shit in my life, so I was like, okay, I took some time off, and then like I was like, yeah, I don't think that's a school for me. So I went to school in Nashville. It was like it felt conservative, like Christian school, but I was like just trying to take advantage of the city because I'd heard good things about it, and I learned a lot there, like the singer-songwriter scene and the emphasis on like open mics and guitar and like stripping it down has been really helpful in my songwriting process. Learned a lot for sure, and there's some really talented, friendly people out there. I've just always been in like an East Coast city, and mostly DC, like overwhelmingly DC, but like in college I was in Providence, and then like right now I'm in New York, so it's like those kind of like very blue state, even though DC's not a state, like just like that kind of place. Yeah. Even though Nashville is blue, it's like it is a microcosm of a.
Yeah, where it's like that one city.
Yeah, and it's like also I don't like the music genre itself. Like it's so country pop oriented, and that's just not the biggest genre in DC, and I reckon not in New York. So it's just different sensibilities musically.
Mm-hmm. There's a pretty crazy punk scene in DC, right?
Oh yeah, it's the hardcore, straight edge. Super proud of that. Actually, grew up on like Bad Brains and Rites of Spring, Fugazi, Minor Threat, Fire Party. So many good bands, and I mean, I'll go so far as say you heard it here first, or you've probably heard it before, but I'm gonna vouch for it. Emo as a concept comes from DC. Like emotional hardcore, Rites of Spring, all those early DC bands that wore long trench coats. You go on Reddit forums who are like the emo experts, they're all gonna say it started in DC. And that whole aesthetic of like just pouring your heart out and like being a little unhinged about it is like such a, because even like you look at bands like Joy Division and whatnot, like you could say they're emo, but like in terms of the vocal style, it's like Rites of Spring, like they're really screaming, like yeah. It's like that's like in like Bad Brains that kind of like, even though Bad Brains is like probably, I mean like that's the DC, like in my opinion, like the DC punk band, but I mean Fugazi too, but like and Rites of Spring, there's so many like, but yeah.
Well, so one thing I never got about the whole like DC hardcore scene was the straight edge aspect.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's such a wrench to throw in like the hardcore lifestyle. It's like
definitely.
It's so unique, I feel like.
Yeah, I have some mixed feelings about it, honestly. I think it's great, and I think it's like I'm proud that it's a DC thing, because like of course like not even moderation, just that's just not good for you. Like it's not. But like at the same time, as someone who like drinks and like will smoke occasionally, it's just like there's an element of puritanism or puritanicalism about it, and how it sometimes can manifest, and that like even in Providence, I was in a punk band in Providence when I was at school there, and we like our there's this band Catalyst that we played our first show with at a house party, and then they blew up and became like the Providence band from a Thrasher video. And you go to those shows and there would always be a few people who are straight edge, and like I'm happy for them, like it's a good lifestyle, but it's not necessarily like there's sometimes an element of like condescension in a punk that like doesn't have to be there, because I feel like that is something that exists sometimes in hardcore scenes where it's like so like if you're if you're just like on your high horse about anything, it's just like anything, not even about like substances or whatever, it's just like that shit gets old, you know what I mean? So
I don't know, I'm just taking all that in.
No, I mean, yeah, but I gotta say,
okay.
the Ian MacKay line, Minor Threat line, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't fuck, but at least I can fucking think. That's a good ass line. That's a good ass line. And that line helped put DC on the map. Like it really did.
Wait, who said that?
Ian MacKay from Minor Threat. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like what straight edge gets right so much is that punk is not about wearing black. Emo is not about wearing black. It's not about this like the physical manifestation of the aesthetic. It's an attitude, as people say, and that's like a cliche thing to say. But it's really like for example, like I personally believe that you can't have punk without politics. Like you can, otherwise it's self-involved. Like if you're trying to be a rebel without a cause, or like you're just like trying to be like, oh, like you do spray paint. Like I got a disciplinary hearing when I went to college because we threw a punk show in a school building, and the punks came and they like destroyed the bathroom of like the university, and we wouldn't have ever gotten caught if they didn't spray paint and like they poured a bunch of paint everywhere and like knocked over like the stall walls. And like I got in, like I was fine, like I didn't end up getting expelled or anything, but it was like I definitely got in trouble, and I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? Like we're throwing a show, like you're just being destructive for the sake of destruction. Like that's not cool. I don't know. Like punk started off. By the way, I will stand on this too. Punk did not start with Nevermind the Bullocks, Here's the Sex Pistols. That is absolutely, there's just no way. Like last thing Britain came up with was Bangers and Mash, as far as I'm concerned. All music that's been like really popular in the last, I'd go so far as to say 150 years. U.S. It's U.S. Mm-hmm. It all comes from the U.S. Like, those British rockers in the 60s, when they talk about the British invasion, they were all listening to, like, black blues artists. And then, like, they're just trying to say, like, oh, there's a British sound. Like, and then the Brits came up with punk. You didn't come up with punk. That, like, what are you talking about? Like, there's just no way. And even if you did, like, Americans, I'm not even trying to be nativist or whatever, but I'm like, You can't compete where you don't compare. Like
yeah.
Wait, what was my pivot to that? What was I'm sorry, what was the question you asked before? It was like, oh, sanitize. Yeah, it's like at a certain point, it's like you can co-opt the aesthetic without the substance of it. Like I love that punk when it started out was like people couldn't play instruments for shit. Like that was like a big premise of punk. It's like a bunch of kids in high school or even middle school, like, would, like, start these bands, and they were, like, elementary players, but they were good songwriters, and they had things to say because of, like, they were self-aware enough. And punk is about self-awareness as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
I feel like also specifically, like, punk is about self-awareness, yes, and, like the punk attitude, like, free parties and, like, kind of going outside of the system, but I feel like the specific brand of DC punk is intensely self-aware in a way that like the anarchist punks are not.
That's so true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but that's the thing with DC. Like, I love DC. Like, it's like because it's like the political capital of the U.S. It's like there's just that political tint in everything. So sometimes I feel like I leave DC, and I feel like people from DC are just like that's like my favorite kind of people. Like in general, like they don't have to be from DC, but people who have relative DC sensibilities, like in terms of like they're like self-aware and like I mean not everyone's in DC self-aware, some fucking dumbasses, but there's like Like, no, in the sense where it's like, you know what's going on because the federal government is stationed there, and because you're not a state. Like DC statehood, I'm sorry, I don't think it's ever going to happen, especially at this rate. But, like, it's like the fact that, like, there's a Republican from, like, Kansas making laws about your city because he's living there 3 months out of the year for Congress is, like, a real thing that everyone goes through. And it's just, like, it's ridiculous. So I feel like the way the city is set up informs so much of its, like, attitude. It's like, I freaking love Catalyst. Like, their music is so good. And, like, it's just like they're core, like, Providence core, like, in their heart. And it just, you gotta respect that. Like, every city, like, I think it's super cool when artists are just, like, you can tell what city they're from or, like, where they're from in their music. I think that really makes artists shine. If you have, like, certain, like, it's like, oh, this not at that in the lyric, or, like, this production style. And I honestly, I've said this for a while. I was going to write my thesis on it in college before I dropped out, but it was about basically this idea that music taste is like, yeah, like, you have some say over your music taste, but it's, in my opinion, it's like there's this weird Freudian kind of psychology that goes on with your music taste, in that, like, you are programmed to value certain characteristics in the music you listen to, and that has a lot to do with, like, social upbringing, class, race. Like, for example, I feel like in high school and, like, being in DC, you'd hear a lot of music with, like tech, like, more tech, like, more like 808s and, like, electronic, more pop music and whatnot. But then when I went to college, it'd be like, you go to a kickback, bro, and they'd be like, it was playing Chris Christopherson. I'm like, no one's like, first of all, no one's trying to hear that shit right now. Like, I'm trying to turn up. Second of all, I'm like, yeah, it's like, because, like, it's like, why, and that's a very blanket statement, but it is true in that, like, you go to a show, it's like, you see it was like, there's different people go to different shows, and it's like, why, and, like, why is certain music, like, looked at as, like, oh, this is like lower class music, or, like, why do I gravitate towards this music? And I feel like it has a big part of it is, like, understanding where you place value in music. Do you place value in the voice? Do you place value in production? Do you place value in the lyrics, like, or the vibe you catch? Like, everyone is at somewhere different.
Like, how does all this kind of carry over here to New York for you? You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's been my dream. Like, my best friend from high school, we've always dreamed of being here, and I've only been out here a few months. It's been great. It's definitely been a hustle. It's been, like a little disorienting, and I've been back and forth between DC a lot to, like, do odd gigs and whatnot, and like, I was working at, like, a summer camp being a counselor, because, like, the job search has been rough. I mean, it really has. Like, I'm not gonna BS. So, like, I've had to go back and, like make some money here and there, and, like, yeah, like, I think I've been volunteering, and I think I just landed a job being a dementia caretaker, but we'll see. It's rough out here, but yeah, I'm super excited about this album, in the sense where it's also, like, I've met so many people, and I mean, it's so cliche, but, like, your network is your net worth in a way. So it's like, I've had more luck in, like, getting gigs just from meeting people in New York, and, like, just like at, like, bars and stuff. Like, it's like I've applied over 250 jobs on Indeed, and I've, like, had, like, maybe 6 or 7 interviews.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I had no clue that Washington, D.C. had this, like, very intense scene.
Yeah. Well, it's...
Like,
I feel like sort of... Like, that was very active in the 80s and 90s, and even, like, early 2000s. And there's still... You see a lot of it. Like, there's, like, Fort Reno Festival, and there's, like, a bunch of punk bands. And shout out Hades Restaurant. They're really holding down the classic DC hardcore scene. It's a Salvadoran restaurant in my neighborhood. And... but no, I also feel like there's some real factors that have kind of gotten in the way of that. Like, for real, like, gentrification, like the city is looks very different, and it has a very different average socioeconomic status. So it's like, and in the sense where it's like, and with that comes noise complaints. Like, yeah, people are moving into neighborhoods. Like, that's why the Don't Mute DC, like, the go-go movement started. Because it was, like, they were, there was a CD store in DC that was playing, like, old go-go records. And that's, like, if you don't know, it's, like, the music of DC. It's this funk subgenre. And there were noise complaints ever since, like, people with, like, who make, like, maybe, like, consultants. And there's a different influx of people. And they're, like, trying to shut down music in places. Like, they've been playing there for, like, years, like, decades. So it's like, I feel like that combined with the fact that there is sometimes a crabs in a barrel mentality in DC because there's no economic infrastructure to make a lot of money in DC as a musician. Like, you go to New York, there's like, you have big venues and gigs, but it's like DC is kind of, has a little bit of individualism. And it would be really awesome if we could get to a point where it's like we're unified and like have like some kind of collectivity where it could really establish itself as a musical force to be reckoned with. The way it was like the 80s and 90s, not just from punk, but like from go-go, from, I mean, going back as far as jazz, like Duke Ellington, like there were so many heavy hitters. Yeah.
Getting into this album, I mean, like one song in particular that really, like, I think stood out to, like, me and Careless Mike was She's 27. It's like, it's just such, like, a very specific song, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, lyrically, like, production-wise, it's just, like, I mean, honestly, I've never really, like, heard a song like it before.
Yeah, I mean, that song is based on a true experience for sure. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but yeah, I went on a date and I was there like, wait, like there's a little bit of an age difference. And it made me like learn a lot of things about myself and like just think about different things, but I definitely fictionalized some of it because yeah, no, we actually just had one date. So it was not, we were seeing each other for 5 months, but it was like, oh yeah, like I think that song really at its core is about two people who need extremely different things and are both like not insecure but like vulnerable in a way. So it's like someone's avoidant and someone is expecting something that was never promised to them. And I also think there's a sense of humor. I like cracking jokes, so I just thought it was like the premise of like leaning in for a kiss and she's like, wait, I'm 27, it's just like kind of funny. So that's another way the song started, another angle. But yeah, and yeah, I just wanted the song, I want this album to have a sense of humor. That was very important to me because like I feel like in the time since when I did Higher Louder Turbo Power, it was like the idea was like it was like a superhero kind of project, which is like, oh, like you're kind of like a Batman kind of depressed, rooftop lurking, like cigarette smoking kind of vigilante. So it's less of a sense of humor. This is like, there's like two spaced out smiley face people on my album. Like it's Mind Control is kind of a heavy subject. So it's like, how do you make it more accessible and less like intense? It's like and humor is one of the best ways to convey a really deep point. Like some of my favorite philosophers are just comedians, genuinely. So yeah. Yeah,
and then like for the track, like it started. Was it like this kind of like date, the thing that kind of like ignited the song, or was it more of like just making the beat first, like the instrumentation later on?
It was like that experience for sure. Was the catalyst, but I had the guitar riff for like a year, and I was trying to do something with it, and then I started 27, it just kind of came to mind, and I was thinking more when I originally started writing the song, like 27 Club, like make it like kind of Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, like kind of invoke that, but I feel like that's a little dark, and I was like I like the acoustic on that, so I was trying to make it a little more lighthearted.
Yeah, I mean I think it kind of gives like a whole nother dimension to the song. So yeah, so you had this for a little while, and then you're just kind of like going around and around of like 27.
Yeah, no, just going on walks, listening to that riff, and then I had that acoustic. Record that in Nashville, I think. There's a cough I had to cut up. Dog paddle to the dive bar, 10 minutes early. Took 45 on the red one. One thing I like to do with a lot of my songs, I'll add 2 kicks.
Yeah.
So it's like they're like slightly different. I mean, Careless Mike can vouch because he's mixed one of my songs. I like having like a slightly off kick center because it feels like it's like boom boom. It's like a punching a little bit. Like literally like a two. What do they call that in sports? Like a 1-2.
One two punch.
1-2 punch. Yeah. 1-2 punch. But it's like, and then like those like. I'm proud of the kind of glitchy kind of side drums on this one, but I saw you walk in, just want to talk for a second. Something there. Then you should have seen my face when she told me that she's 27. Wait, you're 27. Got some light synths going on here. I love industrial music. Actually, under this sweater, this is a Revolting Cox 80s industrial band. My dad loves industrial music. So I always want to have a little industrial element going on. And there's like a slight wah-wah. I always layer my vocals. I really rarely do one take. I like to comp them, so...
and do you like EQ your vocals at all? Or do you like put it in like
I leave
weird...
them raw.
All raw?
Always raw. With like sometimes I'll put a little pitch correction on it.
Yeah.
But like this song is just raw. And snare... I like a snappy snare. I forget the name of this, but this machine over here. It depends. I've never been the type to play territory. Yeah, again, did not spend 5 months. It was short lived due to the age difference actually. But
Yeah, and then how long did it take to like finish this song?
I started it officially in January this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I had the riff.
like
I didn't have like the She's 27 groundwork till then.
Oh wow.
And it was a different song. It was like more shallow.
Damn. How do you like just have like that drive to just like continue like okay, like you have this riff, right? You have this little thing in your idea of your head, but to just like keep plugging away at it. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe like every other week or every like month or so it comes back to you.
Real shit. Like I'll be honest. Like I have pretty active OCD. I diagnosed, so it's like I kind of can't rest. Like honestly, like
it's done.
genuinely, like a lot of my OCD manifests in like just feeling restless with my music. So it's like I know I can kind of tell at the beginning when some ideas are worth investing in.
Mm-hmm.
And this one felt like one of them.
Right.
But like not, yeah, sometimes you do a riff, you're like, oh, this sounds cool, and you never do anything with it. I have hella riffs like that. But yeah, you just also, when you're trying to say something like 27, I was like, it's just funny. Like I'm like like the idea is like she's 27. I think like if I look at all the titles of my album, that's the first one I'd play. Just because of the title.
Yeah.
And I feel like titles are important, but yeah, like pretty much it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love this, like, synth sound that just kind of goes, like, up and down like that.
I love treating guitars as synths. I love processing, I love having a really raw guitar and then, like, just putting down some of the high end and just making it kind of spacey, so it's, like, just kind of blurring the line a little bit. Like that, I forget where I learned that, honestly.
I was gonna say, yeah, did you just, like, pick up all these tricks just while making music on your own and stuff?
Yeah, I'm self-taught, so I've had help from like friends really, and like but like I've recorded music in my room since I was 12 years old, and that's just like I know what I like. I've just been chipping away at it for a long time, and you get ideas about like if you're a starting musician and you feel overwhelmed, this is the best thing I can say. If you're trying to be on a budget, use stock sounds. I only use the Logic stock sounds, and because at the end of the day, sounds are cool. Like you can have a really expensive synth, and that's not to downplay that. Like there's some real value in that, but at the same time, if you know how to manipulate sound to go with your ear and what you like, that is way more important in my opinion. And like I have maybe 2 other like VSTs or plugins in my laptop beyond the Logic sounds. I use like 95% is all like basic Logic stock sounds, and I feel like it's like if you but here's the thing though, you got to know how to process them. So it's like I like keep a channel strip setting like record.
Yo, take us in. Show us what you got going on.
So for example, right, like this is She's 27, and these are my sides. Like these are my like go-to sounds. A lot of it is like bit crush based. Like there's like Captain Crunch, which is like it's like kind of like a like textural kind of like guitar sound, and like slap bass and like a ton of vocal stuff. It's just like get an idea of what even if you don't have, like the sound isn't important. The sound is important, but it's just more so about like bringing certain qualities out of an instrument. Because there's something like Alchemy is a great synth. I love Alchemy.
Yeah.
Like it's so good.
Wait,
like,
could you play some of those dry Logic sounds versus the processed?
For sure.
Like soloed. I'd be interested to hear that.
So yeah, let me pull up like the acoustic guitar for example. Okay, so this is the guitar with nothing on it. For example, if I use like this is a sound, I use this in a ton of stuff, like this Dreamy guitar, like a channel strip I made. This is for 27, but that's not that different actually. Let me see. Yeah. I love a lot of like delay and whatnot, like faint delay. Like usually like 8th note delay. But yeah.
What delay are you using on that?
Is that what?
Which delay is that? Is that the stereo?
Just the standard delay.
Stereo Logic delay?
Like
or is that echo?
Logic.
Is that what?
Is it the echo one?
Yeah,
or
just echo.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. No, I also because like that's another thing, like people are like, oh, you should learn how to mix. I have no interest in learning how to mix. I'll do a preliminary thing as I'm like putting the song together, but like I can't.
Your mixes sound good, bro.
Thank you. But like for real, like I don't have the bandwidth for it. Like I'm like I could never be an engineer. I'm like because like the amount of plugins, the amount of knowledge you need to have is just like it overwhelms me. So I'm like I'd rather leave that to somebody else.
I'm like wondering what the 2 plugins you actually do have are.
I have Sausage Fattener.
Oh, facts.
And like Isotope Vinyl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are good ones.
Yeah, but like I have the demo version, so it sometimes will glitch out. But.
Well, Nico, thank you for coming on the show today. It was really great, like talking to you. I feel like we like really learned some new things today. Yeah. We're learning about history, society, and not being a psychotic straight-edged punk.
No, thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You can come on anytime. But yes, on September 19th, you can start streaming Mind Control Music. I'm guessing on all platforms.
All platforms.
All right, sick, man. And where can people find you?
My Instagram is at hey, like the greeting, Nico Zaca, NicoZaca.
All right, cool. And yeah, and then after this, we're gonna have like a little performance too.
Yes.
Yes.
It's track 10 on the project Telepathy, so check that out.
All right, we're out. We're gone.
All right, cool.
Cut it. I'm done.
Of light across the clouds as the radio plays an old song. All these sounds and colors appear, they're blooming from the back of my mind. Heard these things come when least expected, and they only seem to happen one time. In a heartbeat, through the pulse in my veins, I feel something real, getting tongue-tied. These transmissions sent through a brainwave. She'll come over, I don't even have to walk to her. I can make a move without having to talk to her. I know your secret even though you won't tell to me. Divine symmetry, I think we might be on the same page. I look in your eyes, I see the same pain. I hope one day we can want the same thing. Telepathy. No words, just you and me. Telepathy. No it's just you and me. Telepathy. In this life, you try to hold on, but the only constant is change. So change with me as the seasons bend till the memories all that remains. That's all we are in the future tense, but it's worth it knowing that our past intertwined. Dust to dust, but in the space between, I feel something real. We could have never been strangers, the connections too complete, passing through our wires and cables. It was only a matter of time, and you know they don't speak our language. We could leave right now and still catch the glow of dawn as the earth gets swallowed by silent telepathy. No, it's just you and me, and we'll be slow dancing as the sky falls on a rooftop when the world ends. No, it's just you and me. Telepathy. And we'll be slow dancing as the sky falls on a rooftop when the world ends. And I felt something real. And I felt something real. And I felt something real.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, it's fire for sure.
Sick. Hell yeah, guys.
Anything to wrap it up?
I'm showing.
Hell yeah. Sounds like a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yes. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I really appreciate you both.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
That was awesome. I think that was really good.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's going to be like a really good episode.